You shouldn't have buried me. I'm not dead.
Okay guys, so we're going to do the blade out of a gift card. We're going to be about 3 inches. So right here I'm taking my X-Acto knife and just marking where I need to cut. Take the scissors. Usually using the scissors is going to make this a lot easier. So now we're working on the hilt. Hilt I think should be about like an inch, while the blade itself should be 3 inches. Just cutting a slight angle right there for the point, and then right here is going to be where the hilt meets the blade. So when you want to be able to sandwich the blades, will be able to detach it and attach it, and that's what we're going to do right now. Also gonna have to put a slant on the top of the hilt. Okay, so right here I'm gonna put a third piece in there, and watch how I have the space between the top of the hilt and where I'm actually gluing this center piece. That way I have space to be able to put the blade hilt in. I mean the blade itself into the hilt, I'm sorry. Right there. And there you go, like that. So we also want to make the guard for it. You just take a little piece, bend it. Luckily for gift card, you know, the gift card plastic is very strong, guys. It won't break on you unless you get a really old one. But taking my sanding drum, you know, on my Dremel, just sand all the edges, round off the bottom, and make everything equal. And then take off my sanding block, and you know, just take off all those rough edges. Okay, so I'm taking an engraving tool and making the hole for the in the guard, so I can actually slide the hilt in. You don't have to use that. You could have used, you know, anything with a point. I'm just, you know, being cautious. You can get yourself hurt using an X-Acto knife if you don't know how to, you know. So right there, have a reference shot right there on my other cell phone, so you guys can see what I'm actually trying to work towards. This part you don't have to do. I do it just to give the hilt, you know, some detail. Using my engraving bit from my Dremel, I'm just marking up all the little details that you see on the right there. In the paint, when you start painting this, those little details really pop, and as you'll see at the very end of this. Okay, so to paint it up, you just have to, you know, use black for the base. I always put a black on most things, especially on this one, since it's going to be mostly grays and whites and blacks. You want to do about 2 or 3 coats. Here I'm only doing 1 coat for the camera, but I ended up doing like about 2 or 3 coats overall. Same with the blade. And you know, I know this looks kind of messy, guys, but it's just I was doing it for the camera, and since I can't take my time usually on the camera, you know, it's kind of hard. I'm now putting like a gray on the hilt itself. You would like to try to do a dry brush on that, not so much, you know, cake it. I kind of do it a little heavy on the dry brush here, so the details didn't pop as much as I would have liked. But you know, do different tones of gray just to make everything look a little different. I did the top of the hilt a little darker, and then the guard and the handle the same color, like a lighter gray. Alright, now with the white, you want to do that on the edge of the blade. And do it on this side and on the other side. Okay guys, well, and this is the final result. This is a sword that I made in the tutorial itself. What's cool about this one is that the blade actually detaches, and so you can have the character hold this one by itself, or maybe, you know, have it hang, you know, like on his you know, on his belt somewhere. That's what I really liked about that one. Right here we have my Beskar Mandalorian finally all finished up. I think one little detail I do have to add is like a little copper stain that he has right there. But in the tutorial itself, I showed you guys how to make this version of the sword. And I like it. I like this version too. I did it kind of quick, kind of messy. This one that he's holding was the very first one I made. The detail, I took my time a little bit more on this one than I did this one. So the length and everything is to my specifications that I like. It's not screen accurate, neither is the one that I made. But those are the small details that you guys can do. One reason I really like this one was because of the engraving that I did. When it comes to these little stains that I did, all I did was just take the brush and just, you know, hit it in random spaces to get that little broken, you know, kind of effect. I didn't do it so much on this one because I mostly did this one for the tutorial itself. I really didn't want to make another one, but I saw an opportunity to show you guys how to do it. A friend of mine on Instagram named Artman Customs, right there, he's the one who actually told me he made it out of a gift card, and I took his advice and, you know, just did it. He told me he used 3 pieces for the hilt and 1 for the sword itself. That's why on this one I left that little space on the top of the guard. That way, you know, you're able to just slip that out and just have the handle itself. So I'd like to give him a huge shout out. Also a huge shout out to my friend Adam's Customs. He was the one who kept talking about this sword and really was the whole inspiration behind me making it. He was the one trying to do it. He's actually doing one himself. I think some of the differences on his is that he's using milliput putty on the handle. Reason I didn't do that and I just stuck to you know, doing it with just the card itself is because I'm afraid that it's not going to be able to hold under pressure when you push it through his hand. You know, I'm afraid it will crack. So that's the reason why I didn't do mine like that. But you know, you guys luckily can do it however you guys want it. If you guys really like this one, tell me how you guys tell me you guys' opinion on the comment section down below. Want to hear everything. Would you guys prefer the whole one, or would you guys, did you guys like this one, you know, the one I made that's detachable? So let me know in the comment section down below. Would you guys have done anything different? Let me know. Alright guys, well that's gonna be it for me today. Peace.
Alright, listen up, monkeys. Subscribe to Deadgrinners Customs before I infect you all and make you my slaves.
Okay guys, if you guys like today's episode, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. And make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with all my customs and everything outside this channel. Like I always say, if you're watching this in the morning, good morning, and for everybody else, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.